the February educational webinar. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm excited that we'll be able to chat. Again, this is fully recorded, and I'm going to go ahead and post those slides afterwards in that chat as well, so you'll be able to reference back to both of those tools after the presentation concludes. My name is Brooke Soper, and I have been with Health Fitness and HPE for about 7 years now. And just a little bit about me, fitness side, I have taught many different fitness classes within my career, but currently my passion areas are yoga, strength training, and mobility work. So if you have any questions or if you're into those as well, let's chat a little bit. I always love to talk about it. A little bit more about me is that I also love cooking. I love gardening, reading. I've currently been really into DIY projects as my husband and I have been redoing our house. So that has been a fun new hobby. And I also love traveling. So my love for travel has included a couple cross-country moves, and I've had the opportunity to actually meet several HPE employees because of that. I was at the Houston location a few years back prior to it being HQ as the manager on site there. So I know I've seen a few familiar names in here, and I was just mentioning how I love doing that visit every year so I get to see you all. But then I was also at the Roseville location for a couple years as the program manager there. So I've been fortunate, been able to meet a lot of you all in person. Since my role at Roseville, I have transitioned to a work from home role. So I'm now in Sacramento, not too far out from there, and I help to support all of our on-staff locations. So all of the managers that you all know, if you are on site, I help to support them. And we've also recently brought on a virtual program coordinator to expand our program. And then we're going to talk a lot of that today. So kind of jumping on the back of that, as you can imagine, our membership options have expanded over the last couple years because our programs have expanded to that virtual platform as well. So on top of our original on-site offerings at those 5 staffed locations, we have a lot more that we can offer to the whole entire US population. And I'm excited that you've joined me today to learn a little bit more about that and to see what all you have access to. But overall, before we jump in, our main goal on our team and within HPE is to support all of the employees to find whatever your individual fitness interest is. And what I mean by that is that interest could fall under what we offer in our umbrella, or maybe it falls outside of that. And regardless, we're here just to help expose you and educate you to all the different things that fall within that fitness realm so that you can find something that you enjoy and something that you'll be successful at. So the first thing I want to do today, before we jump into a lot of those benefits, is to introduce you to our team. From there, we'll talk through those different membership options, and then we'll dive into all the benefits that are included. All right, so this is my awesome team. You may have met some of them in person, right? If you are at one of the staff locations, you may have met them at the fitness center, or maybe you've seen their name or their face on Slack, or maybe you've taken a CubeFit class before and you would have seen them teaching there as well. So what I love about our team, as I mentioned before, there's so many different things in the fitness world, right? It's very diverse. There's new things happening all the time. And what's great about our team is each one of us has a different interest within the fitness field. So now that our approach has changed and we really have such a reach with that virtual capacity, really all of them are at your fingertips now, right? So you always have somebody that you can relate to if you have, different fitness interests. And that's something that I really appreciate about our entire team. So if you work at any of these locations, definitely stop down and visit them, or maybe you're just visiting a different site, definitely stop down at the fitness center and say hello. All right, so let's jump into those membership options. So first things first, all of our memberships are completely free. Only full-time HPE employees are eligible for membership, so we want to keep that in mind. And really the main thing is friends, family, and contractors are not eligible at this time for membership or for that on-site fitness center access. So we have 2 main membership options. There is a virtual membership, and this is available to all US-based employees. This is really directed for any edge workers. If you are not at a location that has a STAP Fitness Center, this is the membership that we're going to direct you towards. And then we also have our on-site membership. This is available to any full-time HPE employee at any of the following locations. So I've listed those. If you are an edge worker, but you are based out of one of those 5 or 6 locations, we will just set you up with that on-site membership so that if you are on site, even if it's once a year, you can always stop down and use the fitness center or just pop in to say hi or get a tour or anything like that. So not a huge difference between the two, aside from the fact that that on-site membership is going to be tied back to your home location if it falls in one of those 6. And again, if you're traveling, you can get a visiting membership at these locations and pop in for that week to use the facility. So keep that in mind too if you are traveling at all to any of these locations. Now, once you're set up with your membership, you'll begin to get our monthly e-news email, and you'll also receive access to our Slack page. So this will allow you to participate just as you'd like in that social aspect, but the e-news will mainly keep you updated on all the programs and events that we have going on each month. And then you can also stop by if you are at an on-site location for a tour or an orientation at any time, just to learn a little bit more about those site-specific details. So I've included all of the contact informations for each of the managers at these locations, as well as the virtual program coordinator. So you'll have access to this PowerPoint with all of their emails. So if you want to get signed up for that membership, you can reach out to them and we can get that process rolling. I will note real quick, because I know we've got a lot of folks from San Jose on the call. The virtual membership is totally open again to all US employees, but if you are on site in San Jose, there is an awesome fitness center there. It's managed by Base Sport, so just keep that in mind. Some of the benefits may vary slightly because it's not health fitness specific. All right, so let's jump into some of the benefits now. So everything I'm going to list here are all free for all of our members. The first one is CubeFit. So hopefully you've maybe seen this. We've been trying to market this a bit more, and I know I see a lot of familiar faces that have probably participated in these classes. But if you are not familiar with CubeFit, this is our group fitness offering, but it is completely virtual. So these are classes that are hosted right on Microsoft Teams. So very similar to this webinar format, except we'd be working out together. So you can join anywhere with these invites. We have classes that run Monday through Friday at all different times to hopefully accommodate your schedule. And you can see an example of the schedule. This is our current schedule actually, to see all the different time frames that we do offer. So when you register for CubeFit, what we do is we actually send you all of the invites, and then you're going to accept or decline whichever ones work best for you. And then we can help you to regulate any of those notifications if you need to through Teams. And we do record all of those classes. So just like this webinar, we record those classes so that if you are not able to make that live session, you can go back to that YouTube channel and you're able to access those classes on demand. So who is this benefit perfect for? I would say any employee, but really anybody who is specifically work from home or maybe the edge employees, right? Also, anybody who's on vacation. This is a really simple solution. If you are on vacation, you can pop onto a recording and be able to get a quick workout in. So these are really easy options for that. What's great about the schedule, as you can see, is we offer everything from strength to yoga to cardio to stretch breaks. We've got Pilates on there too, and there's even a couple more formats. So usually there's something for everybody, right? Something that is going to interest you. This is also perfect for employees that are on site. So any classes that you see on that schedule that are marked in blue, so that's our stretch breaks, our meditation, our ergo fit, these were all specifically designed so that you can do them right at your desk. So you don't need to change and you don't need any equipment for these classes. So if you are feeling low energy or tired throughout the day, I totally suggest just hopping into one of these live classes if you can make it, or checking out the YouTube channel just to get a quick kind of energy break, if you will. Now, how about on-site group fitness? So this is going to refer to those on-site locations, of course, but this is in-person group fitness classes. Again, it's offered Monday through Friday. These are going to be held in the group fitness studios at each of these locations. Class formats are going to vary based on each site, but you can typically expect formats like boot camp or yoga, circuit training. I've also included the links to all of the schedules so you can check those out in the PowerPoint. So this is perfect for anybody who's on site, or maybe if you're visiting, this is a great way to get your workout in for the day. If you really thrive around that group environment, that camaraderie, that encouragement during your workout, or maybe you just don't have the mental capacity to plan your workout that day, right? We've all been there. This is a great option to check out. Now we've got a picture of the Houston crew. We've got Chris in there with his boot camp class. I know they've been doing that workout for a while. So any of the Houston folks on the call, shout out to you guys because you've been kicking butt for a long time with that boot camp class. Yes, I see some thumbs up in there. Awesome. So one of our other benefits is the fitness assessments that we offer. These are available to all members. We recommend completing these on a quarterly basis, mainly so that you can see progression between. If you do them too close together, you won't be able to see that progress. So we really recommend this on a quarterly basis. These are one-on-one assessments that can be completed in person, or we can also complete them virtually. These are totally customizable. So what I mean by that is if you are currently really interested maybe in your cardiovascular or your strength endurance or performance, maybe for a race or something that you're training for, or maybe you're not, right? Maybe you're interested in tracking your resting heart rate or your blood pressure, then that's the assessment that you can complete. Or maybe it's something, a little bit different. Maybe you're experiencing some muscle tightness and you want to complete a movement assessment. So we can also do that. We can take a look at your form during certain exercises to help to point out some possible muscle imbalances and then areas that you can focus on releasing and strengthening to potentially help balance that out. So I've got a list on the screen, and this is a little bit longer. You can essentially pick any of these, or you could choose to do the entire list, right, and do that comprehensive fitness assessment. It is totally up to you and what's going to be the most supportive and the most helpful. We definitely recommend this for all of our members. Again, each one can be customized to your liking, but what's so great is it can just help to shine some light on maybe some important biometrics or movement pattern imbalances to help you improve with in the future. And I do see some questions coming in. I am not ignoring those, but we will do some Q&A at the end. So you can keep throwing them in the chat box and I will answer those towards the end of the presentation. So another benefit that we offer to all members is going to be those personalized workouts. So these are available to everybody. We do these on a quarterly basis as well. And what this looks like is you'll meet with one of our fitness professionals and we'll first meet with you to understand your goals, your schedule, any limitations that you might have to exercise, and any available equipment that you might have to use during your workout. Then we'll take that information back and we'll create a custom workout plan for you. Once that's complete, we'll meet with you one-on-one to go over this workout. So again, this can be on site or this can be done virtually now. So this gives you the opportunity to ask any questions on form. We can determine weight if you're doing strength training. We can talk about reps and sets and make sure you fully understand that. We can talk again about what equipment you can use or maybe some modifications if you don't have the equipment that we might have thought so. So this also gives that staff opportunity to provide any helpful feedback before we send you off on your own with that workout. Once you complete that for that quarter, we'll meet with you the following quarter to reevaluate, and then that fitness professional will create a brand new plan for you so that you continue to challenge yourself and see improvements. I think this is perfect for anyone who is self-motivated, self-accountable, and really just looking for that direction to make sure you're, incorporating the right exercises to reach your goals. If personal training does interest you, but maybe you don't want to meet regularly or it's not in your budget to pay for that service, this is our closest secondary option. It does not include that frequent one-on-one time that personal training does, but of course our staff is going to be there to answer any general questions, as needed, but it is a much more hands-off experience than that paid for personal training is going to be. And I'll chat a little bit more about personal training as well coming up soon. So another option that we have are what we call accountability appointments. Again, these are available to all members. They're completely free and they are done on a very customizable basis. The general format is that you'll meet with your fitness professional on Teams or in person. And now that we're fully open again, those in-person meetings could also be turned into walking meetings. And then what will happen is you'll meet with that fitness professional on some kind of reoccurring schedule. So sometimes it's biweekly, it's monthly, it's quarterly. It's really just truly based on your availability and what's going to support you best. And then you'll pretty much set the agenda too, right? It's typically a check-in about your goals. So maybe discussing any questions that you have since meeting last, might be talking about any obstacles or barriers that you might be facing in reaching your fitness goals. It could just be chatting through different wellness strategies or just a time for you to share your successes, right? We know that that's really important too. So I think this is perfect for anybody with a goal that's going to benefit from any kind of external accountability or just encouragement, right? Or just anybody who benefits from talking things through. And we know that making wellness related lifestyle changes, it can sometimes feel a little bit isolating or lonely sometimes. So we are here as like-minded individuals to just chat about those successes, your day-to-day experiences, your tips, your tricks, like right, we love talking about that stuff. So we are here for you in this sense as well, if that's what you need. So the last free benefit that I want to chat about and highlight are the webinars and programs that we offer. Again, available to all of our members. We try and host an educational webinar on a monthly basis. So for February, you are currently in our educational webinar, but we do try and host these every month. So the topics vary. As for programs, we try and offer these once a quarter. Some quarters will have more than one. But the intention behind each of these is to improve the quality of life of participants. So those topics are going to vary throughout the year. They could include strength, cardiovascular endurance, nutrition, sleep, stress, muscle recovery, and many more. For example, our next program that's coming up is in April, and it's called Tech Try. Some of you may be familiar with this one, but if you're not, I definitely recommend signing up if you are interested in improving your cardiovascular endurance or just increasing overall physical activity. So it's a 30-day challenge that you can complete individually or you can complete amongst a team of 2 or 3. And for 30 days, you're going to work towards completing the total distance of an Ironman triathlon. Again, it's a great way to just change things up or improve your cardiovascular endurance or just increase that overall physical activity. So if you haven't seen that registration on Slack, or if you're not currently a member, when you sign up to be a member, you'll start to receive the e-news and the registration will be in there for the next month. So who are webinars and these programs perfect for? You've heard me say it. I'm going to say anyone again. But specifically, if you're looking to educate yourself on different wellness topics, or if you're looking to just challenge yourself in a new way, or maybe build healthy habits, these are fun ways to do that, right? For our programs, registration is completely separate for each one. So you can just choose which programs you want to register for based on your interest throughout the year. Now for our webinars, as you saw when you registered for this one, it is just a single registration to make things easier on you all. If you do not want to participate, you can unsubscribe at any time, or you can just decline that invite for the month if it's not a topic that interests you. All right, so moving on to our next area, I wanted to chat a little bit about ergonomics today. So this is going to be a little bit different. You don't need to be a fitness center member in order to take advantage of this benefit, but they're very closely related. So I wanted to make sure that we called this out. So Stephanie Brunson, she is part of our team, but she's in the ergonomics division. She is an expert when it comes to properly setting up your workstation. Again, for this benefit, you do not need to be a fitness center member. And I wanted to call this out because we often refer back and forth, between our team and Stephanie. It could be examples like if you're experiencing wrist pain during one of the Cube Fit sessions, right? Like maybe Stephanie can help to direct you towards a better mouse or a better keyboard, something that's going to, help to fix that potentially. So that's a random example, but there is that kind of cross referral and that relationship. So we always want to point this one out because it can absolutely be a game changer if you're experiencing any discomfort at your desk or during exercise. Sometimes these movement patterns can dial all the way back to that sitting arrangement or standing, right? So Stephanie's contact information is also in here. If you want to get set up, I highly recommend reaching out to her so that you can move through that evaluation. We do recommend this on an annual basis. All right, so let's talk about the last bit of our benefits. So these are going to be our specialty benefits. So there are small fees attached to each of these. The first one is metabolism testing. This might be my favorite benefit because I just think it's really cool. It can be really helpful. So this is available at those staffed locations. So we don't have a way to do this virtually at this time, but if you are at a staffed location or you're visiting and you want to schedule one because you know you're coming into town, these are available. For members, they're $28. And what we're testing for is your resting metabolic rate or your RMR. So this is found using a machine called the Body Gem, and I've got a picture of that up on the screen. So you'll actually breathe into this for usually between 5 and 10 minutes, and the machine's going to measure the amount of exhaled carbon dioxide. And simply put, that is going to correspond to the amount of calories that your body is burning during that time. So since we are measuring that resting metabolic rate, you do need to prepare for this appointment. So you don't want to have food or drink or exercise for about 4 hours prior to. So you just want to make sure you prepare for that because it will skew the results. Because during those time frames, right, if we're eating or drinking or if we just exercise, our metabolism is going to be working a little bit higher. So overall, this meeting will be about 30 to 45 minutes in total with your fitness professional. Again, 5 to 10 minutes of that is going to be taken up with the test. But then after that, you're going to meet with that fitness professional to talk through several other lifestyle factors that will also influence your overall metabolism. So you're going to walk away knowing your metabolic rate and how many calories you should consume daily to lose, to maintain, or to gain weight. Again, I think this one is pretty cool. So, anybody who has a weight related goal or anyone who's just curious about their metabolism, I think this is a great option. What's nice about this is it's a simple test that helps to take the guesswork out of how many calories you should consume daily. There's a lot of equations out there, online to estimate the number of calories you should eat each day to reach your goals. And for some people, these are totally accurate, right? But for the majority, they're not. This using the body gem, this is going to take an individualized approach versus the one size fits all that is typical to those, overall equations. So this can shine light on how other lifestyle habits are also affecting your metabolism. So things like sleep or stress or exercise, that's all going to influence that as well. And it just gives you some time to talk through maybe how that is influencing it so you can walk away with this really important tool so that you can reach those goals or maintain. So I mentioned personal training a little bit before. So that's the next benefit we're going to chat through. So this is available on site or virtually. So we would host that personal training session right through Teams, just like our Group X class. It can be in a one-on-one format, or we can also do buddy or small group training. So that small group is going to be about 3 to 6 people, but we've got a couple different options. Now, in these sessions, what that typically looks like is meeting with your trainer, and they're going to guide you through an appropriately challenging workout based on your fitness level and your goals. As I mentioned, this is one of our paid for services. So I've listed the prices up on the screen. Do note that we have a special that's continuing through, I think, this month or this quarter. So if you're interested in getting started, we we have this as kind of that introductory package. So 3 30-minute sessions is a great way to get to know the trainer and get to see, a little bit of results in kind of just that routine and seeing if personal training would be a good fit for you. So personal training is a great option if you have fitness related goals, of course, or if you need that accountability, right? If you need more direction, or if you're just not really sure where to start with your workouts, or if you, would like for somebody to plan them for you. We've all been there, right? So we can totally understand that. But working with the trainer, it takes all of that guesswork out of it, right? All you're really responsible for doing is showing up for that workout and putting the work in. So our trainers are going to be there to motivate you, to guide you and support you along the way so that you feel empowered and more confident, you feel educated, right? We want you to learn something during these sessions and we want you to feel more energized throughout your day. All right, so the last benefit we're going to chat about today is massage therapy. If you were on site prior to the pandemic, this may have been a service that you took advantage of. We are currently working to get this back at all of our staffed locations. So we're working on hiring therapists and getting that program up and rolling. I will shout out if you know a massage therapist in an area, if you're based out of one of these locations, feel free to send their information to our managers. We've found massage therapists this way before, so I think it's worth calling that out. But we hope to have this back as soon as possible. This is a super convenient resource if you are experiencing muscle tension, muscle pain, or any imbalances. And it's great because it's, right in the office. Some sites will offer chair massage, some will offer table, some will offer both, but we hope to have this one up and rolling again this year. So be on the lookout for that if that's something that interests you. Alrighty, so I know we covered a lot of benefits in there. Again, I'm going to shoot this out to you guys so that you have it to refer back to. I'm just going to hop over to the chat because I know we had a few questions in there, but you can feel free to keep throwing them out. Let's see. Fitness assessments available in San Jose? That's a great question. I believe there is some variation of this with the staff there. You can reach out to John or Monica, who I listed their contact information on one of those first couple slides to confirm what their offering is. I believe they do offer something. If not, we can do a virtual assessment with our team. So I would check with Monica first, and then if not, you can reach back out and we can help support that too. There are no costs associated with the assessment. So those first few benefits that I listed out, there's no cost associated with that. The only cost benefits that we have are metabolism testing, personal training, and then eventually massage therapy. How are these completed virtually? That's a great question. So for the assessment, it's going to depend. Some of it is going to be limiting, right? If you have things like a blood pressure cuff at home, that could be something that we could help you to like kind of walk through. Um, Mainly, we do like movement assessments during the fitness assessments when it is in that virtual aspect. There are some other options that we can do in the virtual setting, so you won't be able to choose from the entire list, but we've been able to walk through quite a few of those assessments. And when it is the movement assessment, that will be on camera. For the other areas, it might be something like a questionnaire that we'll send out, and then we'll have time to discuss that in the virtual setting. And if you want to schedule that, so on that first page, if your home site is listed there, you're going to reach out to that contact email. If you are virtual, so if you're not at one of those locations, you can reach out to myself or you can reach out to Jenny G and we can get you set up with an assessment. And I see a question about CubeFit. So are the CubeFit class timing listed in Pacific time? That example that I listed on the screen is listed in Pacific time zone, yes. Yes, Isabel. Yep. The personalized workouts are completely free. So those are on the quarterly basis, but they're completely free. Will help to get you started with something there. Deborah, I see your question about any focus on nutrition aspect as part of the one-on-one scenarios. That's a great question. So we are required to make sure we stay within scope, but we can have basic nutrition conversation. So if you are looking for something like a complete nutrition plan, we can't go that far, but we can give, recommendations. We can talk about tips and tricks. So that can be super beneficial too as you're starting to build any kind of habits and things like that. So we can definitely chat on a basic level about nutrition and help to kind of guide you and educate you to some other resources as well. And I know we have Shannon in Houston who does have additional certification and is going to start to offer some nutrition programs locally in Houston, and we hope to expand on that potentially as well. So if you are in Houston, you could talk a little bit further with Shannon on site too. And I see a question about metabolism measurements. So yes, that's a great idea, Mamata. So if you are relatively close, to one of the staffed location and you want to have the metabolism test done, we can absolutely organize that. So I see an example of San Jose folks hopping over to Roseville. You can absolutely do that. If you have on-site access, we can get you to the fitness center that day and get you scheduled with a metabolism test. So the same goes for some of the other locations too. I wish that was something we could do virtually and maybe one day, but for now, that one is limited to just on site. And that's a great question. I don't know that there may be a metabolism test offered in San Jose. That's something that I can follow up with Monica about because I'm not sure if they have something that's offered there. All right, just looking at if there's any other questions. I see one about personal training in San Jose. I'm not 100%, but I do believe that they offer on-site personal training. So again, we can follow up with Monica on that one to make sure. And, I'm glad you asked this question too, Stanley, about virtual folks being able to complete a metabolic assessment. That is something I meant to mention. So sometimes at doctor's office, it might not be the exact test, but there are other ways to test for metabolism. So you could look into that at a doctor's office. Sometimes even like sports clubs will do different testing like this too. So you can check locally as well. If you're not at a staffed location, I definitely recommend looking into that. And it could just probably just be like a quick Google search to see if anything in the area offers any testing like that. Because it's definitely cool. It can be really helpful, but I just kind of like to geek out at the numbers too. So if you're like me, I'm sure you can find something relatively close in that same realm. All right, I'm seeing a question. Any tips on where to shop for equipment? Any discounts anywhere? That's a good question. If anybody has any, feel free to chime in. I'm not sure on discounts. I've definitely gotten some things on Amazon. If you're in like the Bay Area, oh, not the Bay Area, in like the Houston area, I'm trying to think, is it Sports Basement? I think that is the Bay Area. I'm confusing. Um, I think Dick's Sporting Goods is pretty reasonable. Target actually has some stuff too that you can get. Yeah, if you guys think of anything, I don't know of any discounted locations that there might be for equipment. Oh, Facebook Marketplace. That is a great recommendation. Yes. And how do you register for the assessment? So on those first few pages, there are a list of emails. So if you're virtual or an Edge employee and you're not tied to any of those staffed locations, go ahead and reach out to Jenny G. If you are based out of any of those locations that have staff there, you're going to reach out to that manager. Oh, awesome. I see somebody put the link to the Beneplace website with HPE. So there might be some discounts there. Definitely something to look into. Well, thanks for sharing all those options there for some discounted equipment. That can definitely be helpful if you are working from home. And feel free to, I didn't mention this, but if you're just, trying to figure out what equipment you want to purchase, what's actually going to be helpful at home, you can certainly reach out to any of our staff. We love to chat about that kind of thing. We can help to make some recommendations before you make any purchases, to help you to see if that's really going to accommodate, what you're looking to achieve. And I see one more question about the assessments and if they are FSA eligible. So we don't charge for any of the assessments, so it wouldn't fall into that category. I don't know about personal training or like massage therapy. I'm not sure on that. You might need to look into this specific provider. I know I've had questions about that before, so let me look into it on our end because that's a great question. If you could use it for metabolism or the training or massage therapy, I'll follow up on that one as well. But it might be just based on your provider, if I'm correct. So, all right, everyone. Well, I know I'm a couple minutes over there, but thanks for sending out all those questions. I hope you're able to walk away, learn something. Again, reach out to me, reach out to your program manager if you want to get signed up for anything or if you don't have a membership yet, and we will certainly help to get you registered and get you rolling. If you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. And thanks again for joining. I'm hopeful to see you on our next educational webinar. Bye, everyone.